Holmes, we have to be quick. His plan hasn't been put into action yet. Perhaps it's not too late.
Let us go immediately, Watson.
Do you really believe that Moriarty is in there, behind that fence?
Something in the wind seems to suggest it, Watson.
I have a peculiar acid taste in my mouth, if that is what you mean, Holmes.
Well, yes. The air is tainted still with toxic fumes from the factory chimneys.
I believe that I read about this place. The Funfair was abandoned after the factory was built so close by. It was said that even the ice cream tasted bitter. Aren't you curious about the warehouse down there? There seems to be some strange activity taking place inside.
Strange and in keeping with Moriarty's activities. Let us go and see what they're up to.
With this cable car, we can get up onto the warehouse roof.
That could be used as a weapon in a necessity. Vodka. There's a little at the bottom of these bottles.
Russian alcohol. Holmes, the three brothers.
Cutting pliers. They could be useful.
There is a metal ladder stuck under the cable car.
This chest is shut by a cord.
A bottle.
I can't do that. A crank. This motor is from the cable car. There's a little petrol left, but not enough to start the motor. Here's what we can use for fuel. Empty. Judging by the smell, I would say that it's an oil reservoir. Let us hope it works. The crank is in place.
It works.
We are going to separate. I will find a way into the fair, and you must investigate the warehouse.
Very well, I'll do that.
There is no one on the roof. If the machine should get out of control, then just use the brake. There ought to be one.
I should hope so. Anyway, there's no other choice. And when I've found out what is going on down there, what should I do then?
Come and join me in the fairground. You can follow my route to get over the fence. Then you should find me easily enough. Good luck, my dear fellow.
Come on, John. Courage! No one seems to have noticed me. Now I must try to find out what is going on here. The bags contain rubble. They're tied up with good solid rope. I'll keep the rope. Carts from the soup kitchens. They appear to be queuing up. I must find out what is going on inside this warehouse, but have to be careful. The place is full of guards. An empty bottle. It's too dangerous to go any further. It's a miracle that this reservoir is standing. The feet are being eaten away by rust. It's too dark inside this reservoir. It's impossible to see anything, but I can hear a slight lapping of water. A large dry cloth. So, it is inside these warehouses that Prince Woodville's canteens on wheels are filled up, and Hans is there to add his poison. That siren is a signal to open the doors and let out the carts of poisoned soup, destined for London. I wonder what Holmes is doing at this moment.
Here is a good place to try and get through. The way is clear. Good, I'm in. Now I must find Moriarty. A target from a firing range. A telephone line. Interesting. It comes from that large building. A target from a firing range. It depicts a lion. The stand's accounts book. Let's look at the book's secret. Secret accounts. The stand's owner must do something other than manage a simple coconut shy, and there is a strange poem about animals. The stand's owner must live here. It's the stand's till. There is no money, but there is a wooden target. Let's see. A firing range for children. They have to throw leather balls at the figures of wild animals to knock them over. It's clear that there is a link between the poem in the secret accounts and the animal-shaped targets on the stand. Elementary. There is a hiding place here. Interesting. I can't see a keyhole to open this hiding place. There we are. It is simplicity itself. The stand's slush fund. I wonder what happened to the owner that he should leave without his savings. If the guard sees me, he will sound the alarm. I must neutralize him, but discreetly. There are probably others, and a fight would attract their attention. It's open. This building was a menagerie. I'm in the service passage. Oh, what a smell. There must have been wild animals here once. This cage has been blocked with planks so that the interior is hidden from view. Key. Old bandages. A large syringe for animals of a considerable size, evidently. Everything points to that cage having been used to treat sick animals. Apparently, it's a medicine chest for first aid, I presume. The only thing intact is this bottle of ether. If the guard sees me, he will sound the alarm. I must neutralize him, but discreetly. There are probably others, and a fight would attract their attention. There. That should interest our guard. old everything. Good. My little stratagem is in place. All I need to do is to wait for him to come back here. To shut him up, and quickly. Perfect. Thanks to the ether, this baller will sleep for a long time. Another guard. This place is full of them. I cannot risk a confrontation. He'll see me coming and I'll lose the element of surprise. I'll need to find a way to trap him. They must have exhibited those poor wretches in these cages and presented them as being dangerous. This large, empty aquarium held the fair's main attraction. I suppose it was on this small stage that the monsters were presented to the public. The mermaid, Poseidon's daughter. Here's what I've been looking for. This cage is still occupied, not by one of the monsters, but by a poor man. He's still alive, but he's barely human now. Moriarty must have tested his poison on this poor fellow. If he was freed, he would leap at the throat of the first person he saw. The cage is held shut with this bar. It only needs to be pulled away to open it. I wonder what this machinery is. A rail system is fixed to the ceiling, and a hook is hanging from it. It must be used for moving heavy and bulky objects. The crank is in place. The hook is above the cage of this poor wretch. There, the rope is in place. This way I can open the poor fellow's cage from the outside without taking any risks. The trap is in place. Now I only need to get the guard to go inside the freak show. I am missing some information. Ah, here's something interesting. Hans's diary. What a dreadful diary. That Hans is the only real monster ever to have frequented this attraction. The trap is in place. Now I only need to get the guard to go inside the freak show. Chemistry material. guard must have been warned. I need to get out of here. The guard is inside. I must close the door quickly. Closed. I must find a way of neutralizing the guard inside. I can't do that.
Well, I'll be leaving you. I'm sure you have a great many things to do.
But what have we got here?
Ah, there you are, Holmes. Did you have any problems?
None, apart from a few small things. What have you found out about this warehouse?
Prince Woodville's soup is loaded and contaminated by hands.
And in the direction of Whitechapel. Watson, in a few hours, Moriarty will have at his disposal a formidable army, more powerful and more terrible than anything that has ever existed.
What?
The soup is destined for a poverty-stricken, starving population who have been conditioned for months against the ruling powers. Moriarty won't have any trouble in sending thousands of raving mad people to ravage the city, sowing death and destruction. No force would be able to resist them, not the police, not even the army. A perfect army, knowing neither fear nor pity. A tidal wave of humanity which will cover London and will fall away again, leaving a city of desolation behind it.
What horror! And the chaos will only make Moriarty's coup d'etat even easier. But how will he guard himself against this bloodthirsty crowd?
The chaos will only last for the time he needs.
You mean to say
that these poor wretches will all die 48 hours after ingesting the soup, according to our good Dr. Shielman. So the victims will be joined by their executioners. An immense mass murder. What Moriarty would call clearing up after work, no doubt. Good. Have you found a way of stopping Hunce's process?
yes, I think so. If we can weaken the reservoir's feet with the explosives, for example, it will collapse and take the building down with it.
Good work.
What are you looking at?
Have you ever seen anything like this before?
Never. These caravans must be inhabited. Look, there is smoke coming out of one of them. Look, Holmes, the 3 Russian brothers.
With a coal stove and dynamite.
What should we do next, Holmes?
And then the dynamite would be very useful for blowing up the tank.
Good idea. But in order that we can get it, we'll have to get them out of there without their knowing we are here. The best thing to do is to carry on exploring this place, Holmes.
It is the chimney pipe. It has been cut. Interesting. This ladder is only held back by a bolt.
An international anarchist's manifesto written in several languages. A metal plate, very solid. A wanted poster in Russian with the portraits of the three brothers on it.
This stall is a washroom. I can see water basins inside. The door can be blocked from the outside. Interesting. Apparently, they are more interested in games than in cleanliness.
This place must have been magnificent.
Shh. Watson, look, on the stage. Prince Woodville.
And it is with an immense pride that I take possession of the attributes of the crown and swear in front of you to serve my people with... Gentlemen, who are you? I don't believe I know you.
Not as yet, Your Royal Highness, but I am overjoyed that you are familiar with the crowning ceremony.
Of course. A good king should know it.
That makes my duty so very much easier. Let me introduce myself. My name is Howard Sawbury, and I am in charge of the aforementioned protocol and the master of ceremonial events at Buckingham Palace.
Yes, and I'm Sir John Cannard, in charge of the peacocks in the royal gardens.
Congratulations, Sir John. Excellent imagination.
I'm pleased to meet you, gentlemen, but what brings you here?
Do you mean to say that no one has informed you? Have you not been in the city? It is Queen Victoria, of course. She has been dethroned.
Really? So soon? According to my special advisor, Professor Moriarty, that should not take place until a few days from now.
The people have decided otherwise, sir, and now they're calling for their new sovereign, the benevolent, most understanding Prince Woodville.
Ah, gentlemen, you bring me great news. My good people have carried out their duty. I can finally take my rightful place, and happily before the bombs detonated.
Actually, sir, we're here to warn you that you are in grave danger.
What do you mean?
Among your close advisors, I regret there are traitors who are already plotting against you. We have reliable information that these terrorists are part of an international anarchist network, and...
Ah, gentlemen, I know who you are talking about. I'm sure you mean the strange gentleman employed by Professor Moriarty. Asians or,
Russians, sir.
Whatever. These men must be stopped before their bombs explode.
Their bombs?
Yes, Sir John. Bombs placed all over London. I was not at all fond of the idea, but Professor Moriarty was quite adamant.
Do you know where these bombs are precisely?
Of course not. But I do know that those anarchists created their exploding devices here.
You must tell us everything that you know about the bombs, sir.
Why should I? You're not a pyrotechnist, are you? I must speak urgently with Professor Moriarty.
Sir, these men, the Russian anarchists, I heard them plotting against you. They want to blow up the theater, and you with it.
That is madness. Why would they do that?
Tell us everything that you know about the bombs, for we must defuse the one that is hidden here.
I have not moved from here since I arrived, and no one apart from you has entered the theater. You are lying, or you are their accomplices.
We most certainly are not.
That is enough. Leave me.
They are dangerous anarchists who have committed murderous acts in their own country against the Tsar's line.
That is impossible. The professor assured me of their loyalty.
Moriarty does not require you anymore, sir. He does not wish to give you the throne. He desires it for himself.
The devil.
Sir, we are going to help you. You must tell us where the bombs are planted. The people will never forget a sovereign who began his reign by saving his subjects from such atrocities.
I confess that I do not know where they are. But surely the Russian anarchists must know.
What do the bombs look like?
They appear very complicated. It is impossible to defuse them. I remember that they were put together here, in a wooden stall between two tents, next to the Russian caravans. They were the only ones who had a key. Besides that traitor Moriarty, of course.
We're going to try to open that stall.
Wait, I demand an explanation. If everyone is plotting against me, then how do I know that you are not also party to the plot?
But we...
Bring me Professor Moriarty, Mr. Sawbury, without delay. Sir John will remain here with me.
I should be able to remove the prince without endangering Watson's life. These tangled ropes are... He's not moving. He appears to have passed out.
But he could come around at any moment and sound the alarm.
Yes, before leaving the theatre, we must make certain that that does not happen.
Not so long ago, those words coming from you would have frozen my blood.
Rest assured, my friend, that Sherlock Holmes no longer exists.
Get rid of him now.
There is a label underneath this lever. Magician's Trap Door, middle of the stage, exactly where the prince is standing.
Hey, presto, it's magic. No more paranoid prince.
Well done, Holmes. Look, Holmes, Prince Woodville lost his ring during the fight. What were these dummies at the front of the stage used for?
The prince put them there to represent his public. There is an enormous diamond in the middle of this ring. I will give it to the police later.
This magician has a leather belt, very solid. There is a small bag attached to it. The illusionist's smoke powder. Abracadabra!
Magic powder and a metal plate. The revolutionaries won't resist it. Hide, Watson.
Water! Water!
The way is clear. Perfect.
I can hear the chinking of a bottle and talk in Russian. The three brothers are quietly getting drunk. Perfect. We must hurry, Holmes. Each chime tells us that the preparation of the poisoned soup is advancing.
I'm coming, Watson. I just need to unblock the chimney.
We must find the anarchists' bombs, Holmes. This caravan is as disgusting as the first one. Wire.
This piece of art shows the hatred the anarchists feel towards Prince Woodville and everything he represents. The names of the targets are written in Russian and are unreadable, in my case, that is, and apparently the brothers have made notes before every name.
The dynamite shells are empty. A pity.
A small saw. We might need this.
Let's see. If these bombs explode, then I believe that the realm will be plunged into one of the gravest crises in its history.
What are you going to do with this information, Holmes?
Hand it across to Inspector Lestrade.
How?
By telephoning him. The haunted house is connected to the telephone exchange. I'm going to try to slip in there discreetly.
Shall I accompany you?
You can help me to get in, but while I search for the telephone, you should collect as much information as you can about the bombs. The explosive experts at Scotland Yard will need it.
Understood.
This ladder is not too heavy. I can carry it. This ladder is not too heavy. I can carry it.
Look, Holmes, there appears to be some sort of control panel.
With an antenna, whatever its purpose might be.
I could saw through the bars, being careful to create a passage wide enough.
A good idea to use the diamond in the ring, Holmes. Exact.
I remind you of the monkey that stole the necklace, do I?
Well done, Holmes.
It's open. It's time for me to go into the beast's lair. Watson, I have no idea how long it will take me to locate the telephone. Use the time to try to get into the stand where the bombs were put together.
I'm on my way. I'll join you later. There is nothing interesting here. The place is calm, thanks to the supply of vodka in the washroom. The anarchists probably haven't even noticed that they're locked in. Ah, there must be water here. The fire in this stove hasn't been put out, and now it's overheating. It must be stopped quickly. A large dry cloth. A key. Lard. Were they really going to eat that? Oh, it was time. Very pretty Russian dolls. Let's see if there's something inside. A key. Whittling wooden objects seems to be a passion of one of the brothers. After building explosive devices, of course. It's an ornately carved toy chest. According to the name marked on it, it belongs to a certain Alexei, and it's locked by a key. A Cyrillic letter with a strange symbol. A bag of marbles. They're marvellous. A clock's hand. Strange handymen, these anarchists. A pretty spinning top. The Russian's workshop is here. The padlock appears very solid. I've already seen this symbol on a piece of paper I found inside the anarchist's chest. It's not very difficult after all. Another 3 carts full of poison soup. I must hurry. So it's here that the 3 anarchists made their bombs. But what a mess. Very well, I don't have any choice. If I want to understand how they work, I will have to build one. A crowbar. Stick. Here's the bench for assembling the explosive devices. There's something here. A plan for Russian bombs on a Japanese origami to blow up key places in England. Very cosmopolitan. Sticks of dynamite. This box contains a jumble of radio receivers and boxes of copper wire. Apparently the radio is plugged in. That's of no use. Oops, the switch doesn't work. Don't panic, John. All you need to do is to find another way to defuse it. The best thing will be for me to go to the merry-go-round with my bomb.
I'll take the bomb with me. Oh, it's heavy.
This control panel doesn't work. Thanks to this radar, I can perhaps disconnect my bomb. I'll have to start again. I must have done something wrong. Oh my God! Now I understand. The antenna on the merry-go-round controls all the bombs that the Russian brothers made. The control panel. It works! Thanks to this, I think we can now disconnect all the bombs that have been spread around London. And mine, too. The control panel. It works! Thanks to this, I think we can now disconnect all the bombs that have been spread around London. And mine, too. We can branch a telephone here to call Lestrade. I must warn Holmes. I'm going to throw a marble at the window, which will attract Holmes's attention if he's there. Holmes isn't answering. It will be better to wait until he reaches the room where the telephone is.
This room is clean and well kept. What a contrast to the filth throughout the rest of the fair. I know this book. The Dynamics of an Asteroid. It is the reference book written by Moriarty. I must be in his bedroom. A key. This chest. The Funfair's Act of Transfer, signed by that poor Ferguson. Moriarty didn't spare him anyway. A doll. It is new. It was bought recently. This pin could be useful. That could be useful. That could be useful. A magnificent hunting rifle. This glass cabinet is locked, but I should be able to force the lock. This weapon is unusable. The hammer is missing. One can never be too careful. Here is everything to take care of this magnificent rifle. This place has been fitted out as a command center and as living quarters for Moriarty.
Very well. Everything will be done as you wish. Above all, don't get impatient. I'll do the necessary.
Moriarty is here. Apparently he is very busy. And this is curious. He seems to be obeying his interlocutor. Moriarty is a hired hand? These shelves seem solid. Now I can go down. Another bell ringing in the warehouse. That is not a good sign. Let's hurry. Ah, here is the famous telephone.
South London Exchange. What number do you want?
1313, Scotland Yard. Please hurry.
One moment. Lestrade here.
It's Sherlock Holmes.
Holmes, you're alive!
An excellent deduction, Lestrade. Now listen to me carefully. I'll get straight to the point. Moriarty has had 4 bombs placed around London, all of which could go off at any moment. You absolutely must find them and defuse them.
How can I believe what you say? You are being hunted by all the police in the kingdom.
They were looking for me, yes, but not any longer. You called off the search when my death was announced. Logically, why would I call you if I was not innocent? You must begin the search for those bombs straight away.
That's true enough. So where are the bombs?
Buckingham Palace, the House of Commons, the Bank of England. And as for the last one, it is entirely possible that you are sitting on it.
Scotland Yard?
Yes. Mobilize all your men and find them, but don't touch them without the defusing instructions.
Luckily, those locations are already under heavy police guard. What are the defusing instructions?
I don't have the details at present, but Watson is working on it. Stay near the telephone. I'll call you back the instant we find out. Curious. I can hear something tapping at regular intervals against the shutters. Watson?
I think I know what we must do in order to defuse the bombs, Holmes.
Good work, Watson.
Yes, well, no, not really, because the bomb I have with me,
I think I understand. How do you always manage to get yourself into these situations?
I didn't really have any choice in the matter.
It's primed, isn't it?
I'm afraid so, and I need you to stop it.
Perfect.
We need to go to the merry-go-round. Can you bring the telephone with you?
Well, I hope you know what you are doing.
You'll understand when you see the control panel installed under the merry-go-round. But please hurry. I really would like to get rid of this infernal device.
On the contrary, we must keep a careful hold of it. We are going to use it to destroy the warehouse where the soup is made. Step aside. I'm going to jump.
Quite simply, Holmes, the bombs all have a switch that allows them to be defused.
But it's not as simple as that, is it?
No, of course not. The bombs are also linked up with the merry-go-round's antenna by a radio frequency, and that wavelength is a security to stop the switches on the bombs from operating. Therefore, they must be disconnected from the merry-go-round.
But that's not all. If no one switches them off, they will explode anyway.
So that is why you need the telephone.
We need to call Lestrade to tell him when to turn off the switches.
Well done, Holmes. You have understood.
You are reversing the roles, Watson. Highly amusing.
Well, we can laugh about it later, but now we must hurry.
A telephone line. It goes to the haunted house. Perfect.
Hurry up, Holmes. Buckingham has been switched off. Scotland Yard has been switched off. Parliament has been switched off. The Bank of England has been switched off. That's it, Holmes. The bombs are disconnected.
You can use the switches now.
Let's hide, Holmes.
The bombs were due to explode 5 minutes ago. You, go and get the anarchists and take them to the warehouse. Stay there. I'm going to the warehouse to check on the soup.
Let's get out of here.
Holmes, where are we going?
Watson, what do you intend to do with that primed bomb at your feet?
My God, there's not much time left.
It will certainly be more useful elsewhere. Come, let us go, and let us try not to ruin the last chance we may have to save London. The guards have deserted the door. Now's our chance.
Holmes, I don't think that I told you about this siren.
No, but I can guess that it carries some connection with the poisoned soup.
Without going into too much detail, the next time that it sounds, the carts will leave to stock up Prince Woodville's network throughout London.
And it will be impossible to prevent the population from being poisoned.
We must hurry. Moriarty's men are looking for us. The soup production is nearly finished, and I am carrying a primed bomb in my hands.
Quick, jump into the cable car.
Uh-oh.
There they are! Hey! Hey!
They've seen us.
There they are, boss, in the cable car.
The esteemed Sherlock Holmes, back among the living. I am afraid that your resurrection can only be a temporary one at best.
Have we ever been in such a perilous situation before?
Very rarely, I must admit.
Well, gentlemen, what are you waiting for? Are you afraid, Holmes?
The bomb is on the point of exploding. Moriarty's men can't shoot us like rabbits or restart the cable car and catch us on the warehouse roof. We are trapped.
Moriarty wants us alive. That much is evident. So let us take advantage of the few minutes we have left.
I understand, Holmes. Fine. Leave everything. What are you doing, Holmes?
The manual emergency system is behind this trapdoor.
It works. We are safe here.
Yes, there are only a few seconds left before...
My God, what a shock! Moriarty! He was in the warehouse. This time, it's over, Holmes.
The mysterious person whom Moriarty appears to obey.
Whoever could be powerful enough to command Moriarty? The doors are wide open. Perhaps we are too late.
I don't think so.
Don't touch that door! Get back!
Damn you, Holmes. Damn you.
So, you survived the explosion.
Professor, put down your gun. I am going to examine your wounds.
Don't come any closer. I don't need a doctor.
It is over, Moriarty. You have failed.
Not entirely. Your death will lessen the defeat. We have failed, Holmes. You and I.
In that case, I cannot imagine that you would refuse to answer the last question of the condemned.
A question. You can ask it of the devil, Holmes.
Is Shielman immune to his own poison?
What? Don't leave her alone, Holmes. I always tried to do my best for her. Only you are worthy to teach her. Take her.
I don't know if my feelings could ever equal those of my friend. But as he walked off into the night, carrying that little girl in his arms, I confess that I had never seen him so moved. Holmes became the child's father. He gave her a gentle but exacting education. He finally realized, thanks to this child, the simple happiness that life could bring, and also something that had previously always escaped him: love.